Okay, weak hip flexors, tight hip flexors. What's the difference? Does it even matter? Well, for many people, we spend a lot of time seated throughout the day. And when we have hip issues, hip pains, first thing we think of is, oh, probably have tight, short hip flexors, all right? Our hip flexors are short and tight. However, a big problem can occur if you confuse weak hip flexors for tight hip flexors. If you think you have these short, tight hip flexors, right? And you're doing all these stretches, foam rolling, but in reality, your hip flexors are just weak, all this stretching and foam rolling is not gonna fix your problem and could make it worse. So if you're having issues with your posture, lower back pain, hip pains, then you'll wanna take this test to see if you have actually weak hip flexors. And if you've watched our previous video, we gave you a test on to tell if you have short and tight hip flexors. If you haven't taken that test yet, click the link down in the description on this video, take that test first to see if you actually have tight hip flexors, and then come to this video. We're gonna test just 30 seconds here to see if you have these weak hip flexors. All right, so if you're at home right now, you can try this test out. I have two versions. One we can do simply seated on something sturdy. I'm gonna bring this box. Now what's interesting about, you might be wondering, who's more susceptible to weak hip flexors? If you're actually sitting for a long period of time, you're more sedentary, or you're a little bit older, weak hip flexors is gonna be more common than if you're an athlete. But if you're more athletic and you're more active, you can experience imbalances with hip flexors, one being stronger than the other, or if you've had injuries in the past. So that's just something to think about, okay? So what you're gonna do is find something sturdy to sit on. This was actually influenced from physical therapists will use this test, except they'll have a partner. The physical therapist will press down the leg, but we're gonna do this simply ourselves, just sitting here on the edge of a nice firm table. You can use a nice firm mattress. You're just gonna sit upright, and what you're gonna do is lift one knee up past 90 degrees, okay? And you're just gonna hold here. This is the level one, all right? If you can hold in this position, that's pretty good. And then you're gonna press down with the hands, all right? And try to keep the hand, from giving away on the knee here. So you're gonna press up with the knee and hold this position and fight back that pressure with the hand and press down, with a good amount of pressure and see how strong that hip flexor is here, okay? Okay, so that's the first test. Okay, the second one is more of a ninja version. This is where you're gonna be doing more balance training here. And it's the same concept. You're just gonna be standing and balancing on one leg while applying that pressure. So again, one side, same thing, past 90 with the knee, and then you're gonna do the opposite side as well. And that's just a little bit more fun, challenging way of doing that test. All right, so do this test, see if you have those weak hip flexors, if you have any imbalances. And in next week's video, we're gonna share with you our 3 best hip flexor strengthening exercise. Now these 3 moves are gonna be great for you if you have weak hip flexors, but even if you don't, these are still important moves to train, because like we talked about in the last video or one of the previous videos, with hip pain, training the opposing muscle groups. So we had you strengthen the glutes to help, fix hip pain, just like strengthening the hamstrings can help with the hip pain. Having a balance of strength with the muscle groups is very important. So get ready for that. Now, if you want done for you, follow along sessions here, just 5 minutes where you're strengthening those opposing muscle groups while also increasing flexibility, then check out our 5-minute flows. You can check that out in the description below, pick that up anytime. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications, and then you can leave a comment down below to join the discussion. And now we're gonna go into comment replies.
Question is from Samo Dacking, and this was in relation to a video we posted before where we gave an exercise to help if you're sitting all the time. This is basically a version of the glute bridge where we're laying on the ground, we're really strengthening our glutes, and you asked, should I do this if I have anterior pelvic tilt? First, just want to let you know that anterior pelvic tilt's kind of become like this buzzword. It's kind of become a thing where it's been, I think, to me, from what I've seen in the research and the studies, it's kind of blown out of proportion. A lot of people have anterior pelvic tilt or slight anterior pelvic tilt, and it's totally healthy and normal. It really just depends on how bad of an issue you have. What I would say is that the exercises like this are great, whether you have anterior pelvic tilt or not. If you're experiencing hip pains, lower back pains, issues like that, you should add these exercises in. And not only just exercise like that, but ones that are gonna balance the whole area. So you want to build your whole entire core. So that means exercises like this that work on building the glutes. You want to use exercises that build the hamstrings, exercises that build the hip flexors, develop the core. You want to build this whole area and do it balanced way so that you have a good structure, and this will also help your posture. So think here, let me give you 3 things. So 1, work on strengthening these areas. 2, flexibility. So you want to stretch each of these areas. And then 3, throughout the day, try to maintain good posture. And if you do those 3 things, then whether your issues are from anterior pelvic tilt or not, you're gonna be fixing up that whole area, so it's gonna help any issues that you have.
This next comment comes from Sharon Lyons, and she asks, and I've seen this asked quite a bit on the channel before, is how old are you guys? Well, right now as we film this video, me and Jonathan are both 30 years old. We're twins, right? And we're about to turn 31. But I have a challenge for you. If you're watching this, guess which one is older. Is Thomas, which is me, older, or Jonathan? And we might as well show them both of us at the same time, huh? All right, so who do you think is older? All right, and to finish this video off, I want to give a shout out to those of you in our abs challenge right now. We just got started. We're digging deep. You're focused on your nutrition, getting those exercises in. And I know those of you, we have like 2 mats in there, Joey, Sarka, Andy, and all of you in our challenge right now. I'm gonna see you in the Facebook group. Let's do this, let's push strong, and we'll see you in the next video.